Ah, so at early in the morning, such a very rainy morning. So I hope everyone's excited for today. Today, I'd like to welcome everyone to Resent's project, on a topic on workshop on the global data plane of the GDP for wireless sensor networks. So to get us started, first does everyone have their own program? So you can see the first thing that we're going to do is that we're going to have a short welcoming remark by Dr. Richard Hizon. So allow me to introduce Dr. Richard Hizon. Dr. Richard Hizon graduated in Bachelor of Science in Electronics and Communications Engineering and Masters in Electrical Engineering, major in Microelectronics and Microprocessors in the University of the Philippines, Diliman, in 2001 and 2006, respectively. Later, he received his PhD degree in Electrical Engineering, Circuits and Systems from the Imperial College of London in 2011. His research interest involves developing circuit techniques for low-power reconfigurable analog circuits, low-energy wireless sensor nodes, and energy harvesters from multiple sources. Currently, he's the director of EEEI. And so, for our welcoming remarks, let us please call on Dr. Richard.
Hello. Hi. So good morning, everyone. So I'd like to welcome you to this workshop that we have right now. So this is a testament of how PCARI is, contributing to the development of the research capability of the Philippines. So as PCARI brought the capability from Berkeley to the Philippines, this workshop serves as the bridge to help us expand and give more opportunities to our partners, not only within the EEEI, but also other agencies and other research groups all over the country. So I hope this workshop would be, to bring forth fruitful discussions, and please keep an eye on possible collaborations that we may have together in further expanding the use of the global data plane. So I guess in a nutshell, the global data plane is a mechanism, is a platform that allows you to do cloud computing. So it's a level below cloud computing. So this is an enabler for us to be able to maximize the use of wireless sensor networks, dense wireless sensor networks, to be able to control and monitor several infrastructures or environmental applications that we will have in the future. So with that, pleasant morning to everyone. So medyo malakas yung ulan this morning, but I'm glad that a lot of us are actually here. So without further delay, I'd like to welcome you to the EEEI, and I hope we will have a very, very productive workshop this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hizon. So for next speaker, I'd like to introduce Dr. William Padolina. Okay. He became a member of the Executive Board of the National Academy of Science and Technology, and currently the President of the National Academy of Science and Technology. He was member of the Board of Directors of the Philippine Institute of Development Studies in 2001 and 2012, and the Philippine Rice Research Institute in 2002 to 2011. He is currently also Senior Fellow at the Southeast Asian Regional Center for Graduate Studies in Research and Agriculture, member and at present Manager of the CHED Technical Working Group for PCARI, and the Chairman of the Board of Directors of Euromed Laboratories Incorporated. The leadership and wisdom that Dr. Padolina brought into his various roles earned him numerous rewards. Among others, the Award of Excellence in Science and Engineering by the Philippine Development Foundation, USA, the ASEAN Meritorious Service Award in Science and Technology. In 2010, he was named one of the UPLB Centennial Fellows, and was also given a special award of recognition as an outstanding citizen of Los Baños, and so much more. Again, let us welcome Dr. Padolina for a short message from PCARI.
Thank you, and good morning to you all. Dr. Hizon, thank you for this opportunity to just brief everyone here, many of you still very young, on what has guided us to implement PCARI. And I would have wanted to stay for the whole duration of the workshop, but unfortunately I have appointments to fulfill and I may have to leave in the middle of the discussions. I prepared a short presentation, well actually a short article that I would read, and it's entitled PCARI at 4. PCARI is now 4 years old. Legislated into existence in 2013, the Philippine-California Advanced Research Institute's project is a capacity building project for Philippine higher education institutions in the form of scholarships tied up to research projects. So there are just two important points here. One is PCARI is not just a figment of the imagination of CHED. This is a project that is legislated by Congress. It's also a project that is subject to very close scrutiny during budget hearings. I don't think any other R&D project is subject to such close scrutiny, even in the portfolio of the DOST as PCARI. Second, it is a scholarship and research project, and they are tied together. As you all know, some of you who are scholars will have to work on a thesis problem related to the project and supported by the project. We believe that this is a better setup because it redounds to really the creation of a critical mass. Now, CHED was designated as the implementing agency for the project, and they signaled the entry of CHED as a significant player in the R&D enterprise in the Philippines. CHED was chosen to implement the project because of its access to all the higher education institutions in the Philippines, public and private. The HEIs, as we call them, passively constitute the largest pool of intellectual capital in the Philippines, largely in its faculty and students, like you. As of the school year 2015 and 2016, there were 1,934 HEIs in the Philippines. 4 million students, 30% of whom were enrolled in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics degree programs. Collectively, Philippine HEIs employed 142,688 faculty members, Dr. Hizon included, 53% of whom had graduate degrees, but only 19,388 or 12.9% had doctoral degrees. By global standards, definitely this faculty profile will have to be upgraded. Having presented such a profile of our intellectual capital in residence, a closer scrutiny of our talent pool presents a miserable picture of how deep the bench is of our highly trained workforce. There are only 90 doctoral degree holders in physics in the whole country, and 24 doctoral degree holders in marine science, your neighbor. By any standards, this is not at all going to make us competitive. Now, I hope this is starting to light the fire in your belly. Much credit must be given to DOST for embarking on a program to correct our talent deficit, which is now becoming more and more serious. Unfortunately, the response of our younger generation has not been as we had expected it to be. It seems that our younger generation's dream to have a master's degree or a doctoral degree has diminished, and there are not many takers of the generous scholarship packages that have been offered. Thus, our efforts to catch up even with our ASEAN neighbors has been severely slowed down. The goal to create a critical mass of highly trained scientists and engineers has been elusive. Not to mention the outflow of talented Filipinos who have decided to work or settle abroad. Furthermore, there are indications that our educational system is on the slippery slope of mediocrity and decline. Our poverty levels have not decreased significantly, unlike most of our ASEAN neighbors. Whether this is attributable to a very thin supply of intellectual capital needs to be supported by hard evidence. But I am sure one factor of this inability to find ways to alleviate poverty is due to our talent deficit. This is the milieu within which the PCARI project was born. Based on an approach in talent development that has been adopted by several developing countries, PCARI has been structured to fund scholarship and research activities both in the Philippines and in highly ranked universities in the state of California. I don't think you will consider Berkeley, LA, Davis as hole in the walls, just like the Chattanooga University of Hair Science and Technology. However, the legislature has identified the priority areas. So this is by law of information infrastructure development, which this project is contributing to, and health innovation and translational medicine. Research projects are jointly developed by Philippine professors and their collaborators in the University of California. Initially, we have involved Berkeley and San Francisco because Berkeley is very strong in information infrastructure. San Francisco is the health sciences campus. In fact, University of California in San Francisco does not offer any undergraduate degree. It offers only a master's and doctoral degree in pharmacy, dentistry, in nursing, and in medicine. So if you're interested to shift, when we visited them last month, they said, we are interested in accepting engineers because they are engaged in device development. So if you're interested to really chart a new career, and this is very, very exciting because when we were briefed, we were all excited. They were using magnets and all this stuff, but they were also describing how they work with engineers. The PCARI project made it a point to require all those pursuing their graduate degrees full-time or part-time to undertake their thesis or dissertation research to fulfill the objectives of the project. Thus, the degree is earned and a problem or part of the problem of societal significance is solved. So we just don't want to send you to Berkeley or for you to study in UP and select your own problem. We orchestrate everything. You have to be accepted by a project leader before we even label you as a PCARI scholar. This is not the usual approach, as many of you know, and also not the usual practice of many graduate programs in the Philippines. For in many interview panels for scholarship that I have been part of, I have discovered that in almost all cases, UP included, graduate students have to defray a significant part of their thesis expenses from out of their pocket. This is not good. And scholarship entitlements that include a thesis grant or thesis support are usually not at a level enough for a decent experiment to be performed. What will 80,000 do for you to finish a master's thesis? That is probably why we aren't able to publish the results of our thesis. What will 160,000 do for a doctoral dissertation? Or a 500,000 peso thesis grant for a doctoral dissertation. That's nothing. That's probably only 3 gallons of acetone. So we changed that because we feel that in fact the quality of our thesis, master's and doctoral thesis, could have been better if the scholars were really provided the wherewithal. And I don't think any of you can afford to shell out of pocket 2 million pesos to subsidize your thesis. I don't think anybody has that capacity unless you win in a casino. Anyway, PCARI sets the trail for shifting to a mode of capacity building where the student's research fund is guaranteed by the project, provided the thesis topic is one of the sub-problems in the project. This approach also guarantees the build-up of critical mass in the priority areas of PCARI. Today, PCARI has a portfolio of 35 projects with a total cost of 3.5 billion pesos. This is big. It's big money. 32 of these are collaborative R&D projects and 3 are special projects. We now have 40 full-time scholars and 102 research staff pursuing their graduate degrees part-time. So I think this gives you a perspective on why PCARI is being implemented, number one, by CHED, and what are the overarching reasons. There's really a bigger picture. It's not just being able to equip IEEE or UP or Ateneo, but it's really a much bigger picture to try to correct some of the practices that make our talent development programs quite weak. Now, of course, PCARI is not without problems, and most of them are in terms of administrative support. So we have asked our institutions to set up their own research management and grants administration offices so that they can streamline the processes and relieve the research staff from following up papers and transfer it to an office that is professionally trained to handle grants administration. Finally, we owe a lot to our project leaders in the Philippines, the principal investigators in the United States, the research fellows, the graduate assistants, the postdoctoral fellows, the administration of the HEIs, UP, Ateneo, LaSalle, National University, the Commission on Higher Education, particularly the chair, Dr. Patricia Licuan, and the commissioners, because all your projects are to be approved or have to be approved by the Commission and BAC. And, of course, the interim directors of the virtual institutes, Institute for Information Infrastructure Development, and the Institute for Health Innovation and Translational Medicine. Namely, currently, Dr. Aura Matias, your former dean for IIID, and Dr. Ernelea Cao for IHITM. Their predecessors, Dr. Joel Marciano and Chancellor Carmencita Padilla, were also very active in setting this up. And of course, our own office staff in CHED and the consultants who all really stretched their patience and perseverance in making this bold approach work. So again, my congratulations to the Resense Research Group, Dr. Alarcon being the project leader, and of course all the staff, and for getting this workshop organized, and I wish you all a productive and meaningful day. Thank you very much.